Hey there, welcome to my channel. My name's Andrea and I love the Pilates method of exercise. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new, welcome. My channel is all about delivering the Pilates method, the classical form of Pilates, the Pilates exercises, and getting the most out of the exercises, whether you're a teacher or an enthusiast. Today I have kind of an accompaniment video to a couple of my recent blog posts. And right now I'm in the middle of a Cadillac workshop, and so one of my blog posts, which I will link both of these blog posts that go with this video in the description box below. And if you don't know that I have a blog, check it out. There's a lot of videos within blog posts, so you get a little bit of more explanation in writing that you can kind of work at your own pace with. But anyway, we're going to use some Cadillac exercises because I've found that there's an exercise on the reformer that I'm really sucky at. And often the reformer is not the place to correct or fix the exercises, but if you have a full studio of apparatus, and the Cadillac especially, I mean there's so much you can do here. There's a couple exercises that present the same problem, but with a different support and different set of circumstances. So the exercise I'm sucking at on the reformer is called the long back stretch. It's the last exercise in the long stretch series, and it's basically an exercise where you have to really use all of your body to do the exercise, and it's an exercise that we often kind of want to do with our arms. And the same kind of situation presents itself in many other exercises, including the leg spring series that we'll do, the leg springs in the air series, which I think sometimes is called the magician series, and the push through bar shoulder roll down exercise. And I'm just going to go briefly through all of those exercises, talking about how they're related. And in my blog post that I'll link below, you'll see how they relate to the long back stretch on the reformer. So this is a little bit of a Cadillac workout as well. So I hope that you'll join me and kind of feel the exercises in your body too. I have a light leg spring that I'm going to be doing the traditional series with the leg springs. So let's get started. This has not been an exercise series that I've really liked ever. It's taken me a long time, even though this is a very basic series that we learn early on. It's really taken me a long time to be able to do it even a little bit more properly. So I'm going to use these steel bars as a great support because this part of the body is not very supported in these Wembley springs. So I'm going to try to lift all my body longer on the Cadillac so that I can use the lift of my bottom pushing into the steel poles to initiate where my leg is attached to my body, let's say. So I'm trying to make this part, the buttock hamstring area, lift up and engage, and that's kind of where the work is in the body. And this is just the frog. This is the first exercise. So in utilizing the part of your body that's lying on the mat, just do about 5 or 6 frog. You're really making this exercise about your back and your whole body, not just about your legs. And if you have strong legs that like to do everything like me, this might be a very challenging exercise for you. So now I'm going to keep that same integration and lift, and I'm going to keep that in there as I do the leg circle, so that every time I want to push the spring, I'm trying to lift myself away from where the spring is, starting at my seat. And if you're familiar with the reformer frog and circles, on the reformer it's nice because the carriage moves. And so you know if you're lifting your body or not. Here on the Cadillac, we don't have that, so you have to generate it yourself. Do about 5 in each direction. And I'm kind of taking a little pause before I push the spring because I know that I can't be trusted. And that's also why I have a lighter spring, so that my legs don't feel like they need to survive and push on them. And after you've done about 5 in each direction, return to your frog. So now we're going to do the walking, which is going to challenge the same thing we did in the circles, except now we're going to do it one side at a time. And we're going to make it like actual walking. So one leg moves at a time. And you can take a few steps down and up, maybe like 5 or 6. And I find this series to be challenging because it's hard to remember that your leg doesn't start at your hip. Your leg is connected into the back of you. So that's all working too. After you go up and down 3 times, bend back into the frog. Keep your lift, go out again. And now keep your lift so that as you open and close, you don't bounce anything around, even if it doesn't go very fast. Do about 10 beats, and then return. So now the bicycle, everything's going to get a little bit crazy. Those 3 things we just did, circles, walks, beats, are all pretty straightforward. And now the spring is going to be in tension and also losing tension within the same exercise. So I'm going to start in the same manner, lifting my body up toward the handles, where the poles are, stretching out into the strap, and then I'm going to start bicycling. So you really want to feel like you actually are standing on some pedals because you want to keep that constant pressure even as the spring is coming toward you. So if you hear any banging of the springs, that probably means that you took your push into the strap away and the spring took over. Do a few in each direction. And again, each time you push the spring, see if you can lift from the base of your trunk up to where you're pushing into the handle. And then return. Okay, so now we're going to do we're going to do a big frog, and this is going to be a bit of our prelude into how we're going to get up in the air. You might know this as a 6-count frog. So again, I'm going to move from here, where the buttock and the hamstring meet, and I'm not going to care if my foot gets to the mat or not. When I can't move from my seat anymore, I'm going to start to stretch the leg. I'm going to open and circle up, and then come back in. And just keep thinking that you're initiating from where the hip is bending. So that's what the name of the game is, not so much that the knee brings your foot toward the mat or toward your bottom. After you do 3 in the first direction, let's reverse. So again, just the normal frog, half a circle together, and now move your knees toward your chest, bending at the hip as the primary action. Let's go again. Regular frog, regular half circle, bend at the hip. Leave me a comment if you don't think I'm doing it, because I can't be trusted. Okay, I'm just going to rest for a moment. So now, before we actually do the part where we're going to lift our hips off the mat, we're going to do a little helper exercise. So these are not very supportive, and we have a much better support on the Cadillac in this big wooden push-through bar. And pretty much the way we lift our body, our entire body off the mat, is the same way we do it everywhere in Pilates. We just do it in different kind of shapes, let's say, and configurations of the body. But this exercise we're about to do is going to put us in exactly the same position as the leg springs in the air, except we have this nice, hard, supportive wooden bar to use instead of 2 springs. And that's a little bit of a theme in the Pilates method. There's lots of exercises where you can do it with a pole and something solid versus 2 separate things in your hands or in your feet. Okay, so if I were doing the leg spring series in the air, I would basically be in this position, right? I'd be holding the poles behind me and my feet would be in the springs. So this is the same position. And I'm going to keep that lift and pull with my stomach to bring my back to the mat. And I'm going to keep using all of this lift of my stomach to open the spring and move the bar. So this spring is very supportive, and already I feel like I can feel the tension of the spring, and I can lift myself like I'm standing up, because essentially I'm in that same position. And I'm going to keep lifting and keep standing on the bar so that I don't get pushed around by the spring, but I am in charge of the spring. And I'm going to keep holding my lift, holding my stomach in, and standing on that bar. And then I'm going to keep standing on that bar as I pull my stomach in to come down without kind of breaking my body or pushing around with my pelvis. I'm going to do it one more time. Yeah, stand and lift. And if you like the one leg at a time, feel free. Remember, your leg is connected to the back of you. It doesn't just start at your hip. And then I'm just going to do the roll up to sit up and get the bar. And then I'm going to try to do that same thing to get up in the leg springs. And again, the leg spring series in the air, not a favorite. I've always been pretty terrible at it. And so I was really excited to find other exercises that can help me, some of which I even might like. Okay, so I'm going to get up into the leg springs in the air from that same kind of frog sort of moment. And I'm going to try to lift everything together. So my bottom is going to follow my hips. No, my bottom is going to follow my feet. Trying to kind of create a long back. And then I'm going to do the circles. Trying to do the same thing I did when my hips were on the ground. I'm going to do 3 in each direction. And then I'm going to return in the same way I got up there. I'm going to do the walking, which is going to be a little different than the circles. So my bottom follows my heels. I'm in one long line on my back, and I'm going to move the whole show down, and then the whole show up. And then I'm going to return. Now for the beats. Keep the line like your bottom and your heels are connected by a thread. Keep your lifting as you open and close. I'm sweating. And then pull your stomach in and come back down. Oh my goodness. Okay, one more to go. Just the bicycle. Yeah, just the bicycle. So here we go. My bottom is following my heels. My butt is lifting up to where my hands are. And then this one, it's easy to go kind of high. If you feel a lot of clanging of springs, come down a little bit onto your upper stomach. And then return. Oh. So let's finish up with a nice airplane. which is going to be, again, in the same family. It's just a different way of getting the up in the air. So I'm going to roll over. I'm going to, again, my bottom follows my feet, catching the spring, lifting into the poles, and returning. Fold in, lift over and put your knees toward your ears like rolling like a ball. Lengthen up like the jackknife. One more time this direction. Even though this is in the same category, I always loved this exercise. The others I didn't like at all. Maybe it feels a little more fun. And then draw yourself back in. We're gonna start from here to do the reverse direction. So again, the bottom lifts as the heels go away. Everything lifts from behind you. You get a nice spring tension to lift as you stretch out from that direction too. One more time. Keep lifting away from where the spring tension is. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that little kind of tutorial / workout. And how does this all relate to the long back stretch on the reformer? Check it out in the blog post in the description box below. Leave me any questions and I'm happy to make a follow-up video taking these exercises and applying them to the long back stretch on the reformer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. If you did this workout with me, great job. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in a comment below. Click the Pilates Andrea logo in the corner. Become a subscriber. You'll get a video that's new, either a workout or a tutorial or a chatty rant every week. And thanks again. I will see you later. Bye!